Hey, today we are going to discuss the 5 levels of communication to help strengthen your marriage. Welcome back to Love How Deep. I'm Heather,
And I'm Brian.
and we are always so thrilled that you're making that choice to tune in to us today. I have a question for you. Do you ever feel like when talking to your spouse, you barely scratch the surface,
Mm,
that you're not really having deep, intimate conversations with each other?
yeah. That
You're not alone.
yeah, that can happen. It can be
Yeah.
very commonplace, I think, for couples
Yes.
to do that, especially if you've been together for a while. Things just drift and you just get stuck in your ways and life's busy and
That really does
different things like
happen.
that. Yeah. Really you
Y
might mention the 5 types real
Yeah,
quick on
yeah,
a
so
high
there's
level.
5 levels, and we're
Right.
gonna talk about all 5 of those today. So, yeah, what
Yeah.
are they?
Yeah. Cliched conversation, facts, opinions, feelings, and then something we call peak. So we're going to go over those 5 for you today. And they're all important. And I think they all should be used in varying ways and different
Right.
times and when
And
it's
certainly with
appropriate.
different people.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
certain levels of communication that you have with your coworkers
Yeah.
or your brother or
Mm,
sister or your spouse.
right.
Those kind of have different
That's
levels,
right. That's
but I
right.
think what we want for you and your spouse is to reach that peak level.
Yeah, for
Mhm,
sure.
mhm.
So why don't we want to talk about the first one?
Let's do it.
So cliched conversation, and that
Mhm.
is typically just like surface level
Right.
conversations. I don't know, what's an example? Like, how was your day? Nice weather we're having, you know.
And when you, like, see your spouse or whatever, "Hey, how are you?" When they come home from work, or even your coworker, "Hey, how are you?" Are you really invested in finding out that
Mm,
answer?
mm.
Or is it more of
Oh,
a habit to let those words roll off your tongue?
that's right. I think that's the key because, and again, cliched conversation, you might think, oh, that's not important. Why do I need to engage in that? No, that's just how we begin a communication with
Right,
our spouse or whoever else. But you make a
right.
good point. It's, am I genuinely invested in it? So if you
Mhm.
say, how was your day? And my big words, I got teased when I was a kid from my grandmother, especially. I would always say, fine, fine,
Oh,
fine.
yes. Oh, yes, it's
And
fine.
just that can sometimes communicate, don't ask me that question. I really don't care. Or I don't want to talk about it. We don't want to be that way.
And it's easier to
Um,
say, "I'm fine," rather than unload all of your junk on someone
yeah.
else.
I mean,
So
that's
there's
true
some of that
too.
level there,
That's a good
which
point.
makes this that
Mhm,
cliche of just more meaningless introduction
mhm.
to opening up conversation.
Yeah.
It's just
Right.
so we do have that. We have to
Yeah.
have it, but we want your communication with your spouse to be deeper than that.
Yeah. That's right.
Mhm.
And as always, we like to bring in God into our conversations. And I don't know, do we have a Bible verse or
Yep.
passage that might be helpful with this one?
Yes.
Cliched
I
conversations.
know. And as always, I have my little cheat sheet right here. Proverbs 15:23 says, "A person finds joy in giving an apt reply, and how good is a timely word."
Mhm. Yeah.
I think that timely word is taking it to the next level, saying something that is more meaningful to the person, something that they need.
Yeah. Right. I just love Proverbs, a little plug for Proverbs. It's like a great book of the Bible that just has got really just down to earth, sort of very simple, practical advice
Mhm.
that I think would be very helpful when it comes to communication with exactly what we're talking about. So,
Right. I
yeah.
think so. I
You
think
want to,
so. I think
yeah.
that with these cliche conversations, be more intentional. Ooh, there goes my words. Intentional about your greetings or your goodbyes or whatever it is that you're saying. That one of those habitual word, the conversations, phrases, whatever it is
Mhm.
that we all do. Be more intentional about it and really practice investing into the words that you're saying, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then the next level is facts.
Mhm.
We want to
I love
talk
my
about
fact.
it. You're the facts man. We want to talk about the facts that we know, the things that we know that's going on. It's objective information. In a marriage, it might be sharing your calendar or your schedule
Mhm.
for the day. Who's picking up the children? Who's
Yeah.
going to run the errands that you need?
Mhm.
Sorry. Who's going to go pick up that milk or eggs or whatever it is that you need for dinner?
Mhm.
Whose kind of job is that? Those are
Yeah.
facts. You're
Yeah.
just determining what needs to be done. You can call them transactional conversations,
Yeah.
just which is good.
They're still good.
You
Yeah.
have to do
We
that.
often think about these things as, no, that's not the way to connect with your spouse. But if it's the only way, it's not good. But we need to be able to do these things and talk about these
Right.
things. And I'll give a little plug for our shared calendar on the phone. That's
Yes.
been just a life, like a godsend, really.
Thank
Sometimes
you,
technology can
technology.
help. Yeah, it really helps us stay connected because I know I've had situations where maybe a friend might ask me, "Hey, would you like to go out to dinner tonight?" And I can real quickly look at the calendar, and go, "No, we've got something planned. Heather and I
Right.
do. And I can't do it."
Yes.
Or it could be, let me check with her. And so it's a good way. We need
Yes.
to be communicating about these things.
It keeps
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
communicating, and something that we do, I think I would say towards the beginning of the week is to look and see, oh yeah, you've got a doctor's appointment, you've got this coming up, I have this coming up. We're just communicating like about what's happening. If you're
Right.
going to be done with work earlier or if you have to stay a little bit later, we're communicating. So all of that has to happen. But those are all the what.
Hmm.
The challenge is getting to the why,
Hmm.
because the what's we need to know,
Right.
but there might be a why behind it,
That's true. That's how you can go a little bit
That's
deeper with
taking it a little bit deeper.
with that level of
Mhm.
communication. Well, why am I picking up the kids all the time? And it's
Yeah,
because it really helps because I'm pretty busy on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And oh, okay, that makes sense.
right,
And you can dig a
right.
little bit more. Yeah.
I think that's really good to just to be able to share what's going on in your life, especially if it's not like a regular thing like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're picking up the kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like an out of the blue thing, out of the ordinary. Yes, on Tuesday, I need you've got to go pick the kids up.
Hmm.
And he could say, no, why is that? Because I'm having dinner with a friend who's going through a really hard time right now. Do you see how that takes it to the next level where I've got to go invest in someone for a minute. And so you get to go be with the kids and maybe you and the kids, I can then turn it. Maybe you and the kids can do something fun and energetic tonight, go grab a bite to eat together, that sort of thing. So you're just taking it beyond your calendar, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
that's
Mhm.
good. All
Yeah.
right.
And if you think about the Bible, Luke 10:38 to
Mm,
42, Jesus is coming to eat dinner with Mary and Martha. So if you know that story, you're probably thinking, oh, yeah, I remember what happened there. Mary focused on the connection with Jesus.
mm,
She is sitting at his feet. She's learning from him. She's gleaning information and just seeing his love and building that relationship with Jesus, our Lord and Savior. And Martha is all consumed with the logistics. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. Dinner has to be perfect. Everything has to be on the table. Clean this, clean that. Running the household. Yeah, it needed to be done, but Mary knew how to take it to the next level of, you know what? I don't think Jesus cares if this is not perfect. It's the relationship.
yeah.
So think about that. Sometimes families can be messy, right? They can be so messy. And it's like, it makes it really hard when it's, like, messy in the kitchen and dinner's not
Mm,
ready and all
mm,
of that, but it's like,
right.
sometimes shut all that off.
Yeah.
Don't worry about those logistics and things that need to get done. Have family time together,
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
right. And probably, I don't know if this makes sense, probably being a little stereotypical, but I think women have this tendency to scurry, let's get things done.
We do,
And
we
then the
do.
man want to just not do much of anything. Let's just talk. And there's probably a balance in there somewhere. But I know on this occasion in the Bible, I think the Lord was really wanting that connection. And so that's what we should really listen to is like read the room and understand what is needed
Mm,
at the time.
that's good.
Maybe it is conversation or maybe it is, let's get some things done. Yeah.
That's good, I like that, read the room. Yeah, so really just listening to each
Mhm.
other, going
Yeah,
beyond just the fact
yeah.
and,
And then the
jump
third
in.
one would be opinions. That is, you're going a little bit deeper. And with each of these levels, I feel like we're going a little bit deeper
Yeah,
emotionally.
yeah.
Opinions can be things about maybe what's going on out in the world. I know in the day and age that we live in, politics can be a pretty dicey kind of conversation. But at the end of the day, um, I would hope that you could have conversations like that. And maybe your opinions differ on something politically, but I think really the key there is to listen, reserve judgment, be curious. Those are probably some good things to do because again, a lot of times we can be very quick to be like, I don't agree with that or I don't believe that. And why would you have that opinion and
Right,
that kind of thing? And that's just a shutdown, to
right,
be
I think it
honest.
is. I think it is.
Or yeah, or I was gonna say it could be opinions about each other. And I know you have to be gentle and delicate with that
Mhm.
about, hey, it's embarrassing to me when you talk about our bank account in front of how much money that we have in front of my friends or whatever. And so that is an opinion. And hopefully it will be met with, okay, that makes sense. I get that. I need to think about that. But I think all too often we can get defensive and
Right.
what's your problem and what's the big deal? And you should stop being so sensitive and things like
Right.
that.
We all like to give our opinions, but then do we listen to the other person if they give a differing opinion?
Hmm.
God made us the way he made us. We're all unique. We have different personalities, different likes and dislikes, and we all have opinions. Opinions are like noses.
Hmm.
Everyone has one and they smell.
Right. Oh, that's good. I like that.
I
And,
don't know where I heard that one time,
right.
but I didn't create that.
Yeah.
But it's good. Maybe it's not they all smell, they all stink. I don't know. They all smell.
No,
I
they
don't
all
know.
smell. I think
They
it's
all
they all
smell.
smell.
That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Right.
But I think it's a matter of respecting each other's opinions and ideas and thoughts, beliefs, and having that kind of a perspective of just, I understand you feel that way. And you want to be careful not to shove your opinion onto the other person
Mm,
because we're all different. I can't shove my opinions on Brian because Brian's not like me. We're alike in a lot of ways, but
mm.
we still
Yeah.
have differences. Oh my gosh, after
Right.
20 years.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This is still a work in progress for me. I know there's a lot of topics where you have a different opinion than I do, and it's okay, and I'm fine with it. And then there's other times where it's sometimes it'll punch a little button, and then all of a sudden that just, wait a minute, what are you talking about? And then still working on that.
yes.
I don't know if I'll ever reach the final goal on that one, and maybe until I meet Jesus, I don't know, but
That's
hopefully
probably the
not.
case because
Yeah.
God made us and he
Mhm.
made us all different and that's okay. And I think it comes down to
Yeah.
respecting each other's opinions. And
Right.
Ephesians 4:2 and 3 says, be completely humble and gentle. That's so important. Be
Mm,
patient, bearing with one another in love.
yeah.
And that's what you want to
Mhm.
have in your relationship, in your marriage,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to opinions that differ.
Yeah.
Be patient with each other.
And I would say a practical tip on that one would be just to take a breath. When you hear something that you don't agree with, just take a kind of a deep breath. That will slow you down a little bit. That will cause you, like that verse says, to be a little bit more gentle, a little bit more patient. I know when I'm deep breathing, it's hard to get angry and upset and to blow your lid. It's a
It's
little bit,
true.
yeah. So to be
That's
patient.
true.
Yeah. So,
And I think that we have these opinions because we have feelings. God
mhm.
made us with feelings. Jesus had feelings. We have feelings, and that's okay. That's the beauty in how God made us. And
Is this number
this is
four,
the
by the
next
way?
level.
You did a nice
Yeah.
job. I don't know. She slid right into number
Laid
four,
into it, didn't I?
feelings, right?
Connecting those. We have opinions because we have feelings,
Right.
right? So we're going to get into our feelings in a marriage relationship. You're really getting a lot
Mhm.
deeper, right? And in in that dating phase, it's like you're sharing your feelings all the time. Oh my gosh, you're the greatest person. I love you so much. You make
Right.
me feel so happy. Like
Yeah.
I feel so good when I'm with you. And
It's
like,
like you're floating on air and everything's easy.
you're so happy to share those feelings. And then when you get married and life sets in, it does. And any newlyweds out there, just get ready. It's going to set in and it's okay. You're going to learn to work through it. But you still need to share your feelings.
Mhm.
You still
Right.
need to.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we stop sharing our feelings because we feel like if I stop sharing my feelings, it's probably because I feel like Brian's not listening to me. He
Mhm.
doesn't care about my opinions.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stop sharing my opinions. I'm gonna stop sharing my feelings
Yeah.
because it hurts too much. I'm gonna
Yeah.
bottle it up and I'm gonna keep it inside.
Mhm.
And it's just like a Coke bottle that gets shaken up. It's going to explode.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not
right.
going to end
Yeah.
well. And so you want to be able to share your feelings with each other, to be vulnerable, to talk about your emotions. What made you sad today?
Mhm.
What made you really happy today? Why were
Yeah.
you so sad about that? Dig deeper.
Yeah. And I would say a good kind of practical tip, if you're on the other end of hearing these opinions, let's say, for example, you came home to me, Heather, and just said, I showed up at work for the third time this week late and the boss just chewed me out. If my immediate response is, why are you showing up late to work or what's going on here? Do you want me to help you solve that problem? The thing is, yes, maybe that's an issue that needs to be worked on, but if you go there first,
That's where you
what
go
that's
first.
going to happen is you're going to be like, I'm not going to tell you that anymore because that wasn't very kind or gentle or humble or
And I probably didn't say it quite as nice ish
right.
as that. It probably started a big fight,
Right.
argument.
But I was
Yeah.
going to say, if I approach it from a place of, wow, the boss yelled at you, like just tore you to pieces and you came out of there crying, I'd probably feel the same way if the boss did that to me. Wow. And then after you get to that, then maybe you can say, hey, do you want a little help on trying to figure this out?
Right.
Do you want some suggestions? Do you want my help?
Right. And maybe you have to ask the dumb questions of like, why do you think he did that? Oh goodness, what do you think the boss is feeling in
Yeah.
this moment? How did that make you
Yeah.
feel? What do you think we
Yeah.
can do to help you?
Right.
How can I help you?
Right.
Those kinds of
Mhm.
questions to go deeper. And it's not like you're pussyfooting around the problem.
Mm.
You are working helping to work through the emotions of both of you in a better, more clear way that's a little softer. And
Mm.
sometimes we need that because we get our ruffles feathered too easy
Or
because
our
they are
feathers
our.
ruffled.
Did I really just
Yeah.
say that?
Seems that like, what do you call that? A spoonerism?
I have no
I think
idea.
that's what that's called. Anyway, go ahead. I really completely derailed you,
I
which I
think I
shouldn't have
just
done
got
that.
derailed big
Yeah.
time. What does the Bible say about that?
There we
Um,
go. Bring it back to the Bible.
um, yeah. So Psalm 34:18, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. You don't want to be the one that crushes your spouse's
Right.
spirit
Yeah.
by not respecting their feelings, by not giving them that safe space to express themselves. And but you also like, you don't want to shut them down, but you also don't want to ignore their feelings because to me, that's just as bad to ignore and just, like not even respond and engage in a conversation. There's that. And then there's just shutting you down. That's just
Mhm.
stupid using those kinds of words. You want to be interested. You want that safe space to look like you can tell me what you want. I'm going to listen and I'm going to be objective for you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to offer advice if you need it and I'm not going to criticize you. And I think that's a good way to express your feelings. And that also helps your spouse know I can continue to tell what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling.
That's good. Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah. And then that, if you can get good on that one, the feelings and exchanging feelings and feeling good about that, you can get to the fifth one, which we call peak communication. You're at the top of the mountain there. And I think to me, that's more where, wow, I can talk about my goals and my dreams and what I'm really thinking about. And
absolutely.
like, I can come to you and say, I would love it if we could retire in Montana on a ranch and raise cattle. And for you to be able to be like, okay, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Again, maybe you don't
Okay.
agree, but at least you can take a step back and want to listen to that and
Yeah.
want to, all right, let's talk. I don't know if
Okay.
I'm on the same page as you, but I want to understand this. I want to know this.
So I have a question about that. Can we get the cows that have all that hair on their head? They're so cute. I would
Oh,
brush their
yeah.
hair.
I don't know
Can
what
we get
those
one of
are.
those?
Yeah.
I
If
don't know what
anybody
they are.
knows what those are, put that in the comments, although that's maybe not important.
Not
Uh,
important, but do y'all see how that question came up?
right.
All right, let's carry on this
Like
conversation.
you showed interest,
Yeah,
which
and
was the
was it
coolest thing.
silly? Yes,
Right.
but can it get a conversation going? So yeah, Montana's really beautiful. Tell me more about that. What do you
Right.
like about it?
Yeah.
Instead of it's the dumbest thing. How are you gonna get a job out there?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do out there? Do they
Right.
I'm a teacher. Do they have
Yeah.
schools that I would want to teach
Mhm.
at for with the specialty that I do? Is that out there for me? Or am I just what am I doing? Milking cows all day? Do y'all see the difference?
Mhm. Yeah.
That's just that's not what we want for you. That's him trying to express his feelings and his peak communication level. And I'm over here shutting him down.
And I would say a practical
Mhm.
tip from the standpoint of the person sharing the dream or the feeling, or I'm sorry, the dream or the goal or the vision
Yeah.
is you can say something like, I'm just dreaming right now. And I think we've done that with each other. And that kind of signals to the other person, this doesn't mean tomorrow I'm running out and making phone calls and purchasing land
That's
in
true.
Montana. It just means I just want to talk.
It's a pipe dream.
Right.
It's a pipe dream.
Yeah.
So here's an example we didn't talk about. When you came to me so many years ago and you said, I've been praying about this. I want to quit my job and go back to school to be a
Mm.
counselor. I was like, what? Uh, and I gave all the reasons why we can't do that.
Mm.
Like financial reasons really was the thing. And I did. I know you remember that conversation. It was very hard. And I was like, and you said, I've prayed about it and I feel like this is where the Lord is leading. And I'm like, he didn't tell me that,
Mhm.
but I hadn't prayed about it. So I did not start off with the best responses of supporting your feelings, of supporting the facts that were still true about your current
Mm.
job and all of these things. I wasn't respecting that. It was not, I don't know that I really gave you a safe place to even share those
No.
things, to share that dream and that vision that you had. And then I ultimately, it was like, I need to pray about
Mm,
this. And that was the best response to give. I need to pray about this because
mm,
I wasn't on the same page.
mm,
And I needed to hear from the Lord and understand this is it. And I did. And I also needed to see the facts in black and white. Do you see these levels that I keep hitting
yeah.
back to? I needed to see the facts, meaning
Mm,
how we were going to survive off of my little teeny little paycheck.
yeah.
And God worked it all out. And here
Yeah.
we are today. And that was like, that was more than a pipe dream. That was a massive family life-changing decision that was that needed to have that peak communication, which we did get there. We had those communication moments where we're sharing thoughts, we're
Yeah.
sharing those dreams, and it's happening, and God is making it happen, carrying us through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen. And so let's talk about the Bible. I think a good verse that talks through this is Genesis 2:24. It says, "That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh." I think that what that's saying is marriage is just designed to be this authentic connection between two people,
Yeah.
and communication is a big way to handle that. And I would say, I don't know, I was just thinking about this as we've been talking. I almost liken this to a song. Like, and you're the sort of the singer in the family between the two of us. I don't sing at all, but when you think of a good song, you think there's a lot of different parts to the song. There's highs, there's lows, there's volume changes, there's what the chorus and the bridge.
The verse, the chorus, the bridge.
And
Yeah.
you got to have all of these things. And if you don't have all of these things, it doesn't work very well. So I guess the point here is with these five levels, it's like they're all important and you need
They
a
are.
balance. Because I think sometimes we can think, oh, if you're just saying, hi, how was your day? And the facts and logistics, that's not good. But no, that needs to happen.
Mm.
And then on the other end, you don't want to just be sitting in your feelings all day long. That can get exhausting too. So they're like a song,
Right. And you have to do more than just share your pipe dreams
yeah.
at the peak level.
Yeah.
It's got to be more than pipe dreams. Let's dive deeper into that. Tell me why you want to move to a ranch in Montana. Tell me what your feelings are about that. And just sharing in such a deep way. I do believe that these levels just continue to build off of each other. And that's what we want for you to communicate on all of these levels and really reach that peak communication, especially when it comes to that decisions and things for your family.
Yeah. Amen to that.
Mhm, mhm.
And so, do you want to give them one more scripture? We'll just start to wind this thing up. It's in Colossians 4:6. And it says, I'm putting her on the spot here.
Oh, here it is. Okay. Colossians 4:6. Let I love you. Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone. And I love that, full of grace. We need to have grace for each other. The Lord has grace for us, right? Seasoned with salt. Salt makes everything better.
Hmm.
Like, we put salt on everything. I have friends who put salt on their
Just,
strawberries. I don't know about that, but I'll put it on my watermelon though.
mm,
But salt brings out more flavor. And those of you who put salt on your caramel, you better not leave me any comments. But salt makes everything better. And that's what we want your words to just be, that salt in your marriage, in your
yeah,
conversations.
that's good.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to wrap up for today. But before we go, definitely check out our website, lovehowdeep.com.
Yeah.
We have a really special offer going on right now. So if you're struggling in your communication, and maybe you've hit some bumps in the road and you've had some small, maybe hurts, or maybe you've had some big betrayals, we have a forgiveness online course
Mhm.
that's packed full of great videos and worksheets. Go to lovehowdeep.com/forgiveness. And right now, if you enter the promo code F as in Frank, G as in George, 19, that's FG19, you'll get it for $19. And we'll make sure we'll put a link and all this information in the show notes wherever you find any episode. And with that, we are again so thankful that you have joined us. Take care until next time.